Welcome, I'm Brandy Vallance. Today I'm interviewing the always brilliant Chris Mandeville, author of 52 Ways to Get Unstuck. We're at the Marriott Hotel in Colorado Springs for the Pikes Peak Writers Conference 2014. Right here, right now, make it happen. Chris is one of the best encouragers I know for writing, so I'm so honored to be able to celebrate this moment with her book. Chris, I know that you don't often get stuck, but for us who sometimes struggle with that and the writer's block, how did you first come to get your ideas together for your book?
Well, back in 2009, the Pikes Peak Writers Conference was getting their slate of authors together, and they decided that they needed a workshop on writer's block. And they said, "Hey, Chris, can you teach a workshop on writer's block?" And I thought, sure, I can do that. So I put together the initial go at 52 Ways to Get Unstuck. And it was a workshop that was a little more than an hour, and I quickly went through 52 different ways to get unstuck. And after that, I spoke with Donald Moss, Uber agent Donald Moss,
Yes.
about the concept of the 52 Ways to Get Unstuck. And he encouraged me to think about putting it into book form. So he was very inspirational, to have an editor, an agent like that say, wow, that sounds like a good idea for a book.
Absolutely. And I actually sat in on Chris's workshop, and it was amazing. And I've known Chris for some time. She's been involved with Pikes Peak Writers, has been a past president of Pikes Peak Writers, and she has a wealth of information. Chris, with this particular book, you had some contributing authors.
Some,
yes.
I had a lot of contributors to the book. I went out to friends, acquaintances, other writers, people that, there's even people that I don't know personally who contributed to the book by trying out the exercises or letting me know anecdotes of ways that they have gotten unstuck in their lives and their careers as writers. So there are more than 80 contributors to the book in addition to me.
Yes, and I may have a small little thing in there about how I work through a plot problem or whatever. And what I do is stream of consciousness listing. And basically it's just putting on the page the most ridiculous ideas that I can possibly think of all the way down the page. And by the end of the page, I normally have an idea that's workable. So that's what I do. So in those moments when, I won't say you get unstuck because you get stuck because you don't do that. But if you were to kind of, approach that brink of writer's block, what would you do? What are some of your favorite things?
My favorite exercises are to take a shower or to go for a drive. Mm-hmm. Both of those, for me, tend to occupy just enough of my brain that I'm not focused on, oh my gosh, what am I going to write? But it leaves enough of my brain available to ponder story possibilities or plot problems or character development. And usually if I take a shower or take a drive, the ideas start to flow.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell our audience a little bit about how your book is structured? Because I think it's very unique. And
Sure. The book is divided into 5 parts, and the first part doesn't actually include any of the 52 ways to get unstuck, because the first part is about preventing writer's block and doing things to clear the decks and clear the way in your life for productive, successful writing. So things like setting goals, providing yourself with incentives or motivators, getting your schedule organized so that you actually have time on your schedule, on your calendar to sit down and write, where that's what you're supposed to be doing, and you don't have any other shoulds. Mm-hmm. I should be doing the laundry. I should be writing this report. So once you get those 5 activities taken care of and your life is all prepped for writing, if you do get stuck after that, there are 4 more parts to the book, each with 13 exercises for getting unstuck. And it's divided up that way so that you can use a deck of cards to randomize your choice of activities. So part 2 is the right place at the right time. And that corresponds to a suit in a deck of cards. So if you wanted to do, say, the character exercises in part 3, you could pull the hearts out of the deck and say, I want to randomly pick a character exercise. Mm-hmm. Draw a card from the deck, and then check in the back of the book which exercise that heart card corresponds to.
Sounds like a lot of fun to me.
And then the other parts of the book, that's parts 1 through 3. Part 4 is story mechanics. So anything to do with your story engine and how your story holds together. And that includes things like goal, motivation, and conflict and the writer's journey. And then part 5 is getting in the zone, getting in that perfect mindset where the words just flow.
Yes.
And like I said, each of those parts has 13 exercises for you to try.
Chris is actually the president of Delve Writing, and I know that all of you will want to know more about Delve. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Delve Writing is the brainchild of my business partner, Aaron Brown, who is an author himself. And he and I put it together last year. So Delve is celebrating our 1-year anniversary this weekend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It is an online writing community providing education and support to writers at any stage of your career. We specialize in boot camps where you'll delve into a particular topic, say character, and you know you're going to have a certain outcome at the end of the workshop, at the end of the boot camp. Say you're going to have a new character outline and character arc for your protagonist or your antagonist. A good example is our marketing boot camp that's coming up. It's a 3-part boot camp. And by the end of this camp, you will have a personalized, customized marketing plan, or at least a draft of one for your own book. So you can find out all about our upcoming camps and also our Facebook group for goals and support at delvewriting.com.
And Chris actually taught a boot camp recently, and I was able to attend that, on pitching to help everyone here at the conference get their nerves out. And I heard that one of the attendees had some big news.
Yes, we're actually on the very first day of the conference. It's not even the official conference, it's the prequel today. And nobody's supposed to be officially pitching, but she already got her first send it. One of the editors or agents here was interested in her idea, and she presented it in such a way that it sounded enticing, and the editor or agent said, send me more, send me some pages. So I think that's pretty cool. We already got to send it.
That is amazing. And for you who don't know actually what happens at a writer's conference, you don't actually sell your book at a writer's conference. You're wanting to get that send it so the agent or editor can see more, and then hopefully you can go to the next step.
Yes, and I'm pitching my fiction book this weekend as well. I have a post-apocalyptic new adult story that I'm going to be pitching. So I'll need to switch gears from the nonfiction to the fiction here in about 5 minutes.
Very exciting. There's a lot of sometimes deep breathing that goes on before walking into that room and presenting yourself and your idea. Well, if you would like to find out more about Chris, you can visit chrismandeville.com. And I hear rumors that she may be jumping into Twitter soon.
Yes, 52 Ways to Get Unstuck is actually part of, this is the first in a series, the 52 Ways series. So look for tweets under 52-ways.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chris, for letting me interview you.
Thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Yes, and check out her book, 52 Ways to Get Unstuck, on Amazon.